whatever they eat there. So some of those things may not be relevant to us. What's very important today to understand is that even in India, which is like called the state of countries, it's not a country of states. There's a huge difference between the diets that we have. A Keralite will not really eat the food a Bengali person will eat, and a Punjabi's the diets is completely different than what a Gujarati would eat. So we need to really understand that the food that we consume also has to uh, take into consideration our ethnicity, our what our parents and our grandparents have actually eaten. So today, in the whole context of this course, CCNG, when we say it's certificate course in nutrigenomics, so we not just study about genetics or genomics, but we study fundamentally also about nutrition, because a little basic understanding of this would put everything into perspective. And then the next section that we're going to talk about, which is nutrigenomics, the crux of the course, is going to be very, very relevant when you really understand the fundamentals of genetics and fundamentals of nutrition. So we are going to, we finished 3 classes and we have completed 1 section. So there are 4 more sections to go. So now we are speeding up. The vehicle has taken a little bit of speed, and then you need to be there in the groove of things, and you need to now catch up. For some of you who are already dietitians or in the field of lifestyle wellness, this class or this section might look a little basic, but I really want you to go through it a little so that we can put things in perspective. Okay. So for a change, I talked about the Gujarati diet. So we have a Gujarati person today to talk to you. She's somebody who's been with Velocity for the last 5 years, ever since the inception almost. She's been there. She has counseled a lot of people, more than 1,200 people in her career. That includes a lot of celebrity as well. And she's been very passionate about what she's doing. So she is a diabetic tutor. She is also a qualified yoga teacher, and she is a very senior nutritionist, and then has vast experience, very famous for delivering very good webinars, especially in the lockdown. So I'd like to now introduce you to my colleague and the faculty for today's class, Riddhi Shah. So Riddhi, a warm welcome to you, and a warm welcome to all the students as well. Those some of them have communicated that they wouldn't be able to be there on the class live because of various commitments. They will be listening to the recording. So I really want you to go through and brush through the subject of fundamentals of nutrition today, and it's all over to you.
Thank you, sir. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Stan, sir. Am I loud and clear, guys? Just
Yes,
give me a thumbs up. Yes? Okay, great, great. Fine. So let's begin today's class. And my name is Riddhi, as Stan sir just introduced me. So I'm going to talk about a very interesting module today, which is about your own nutrition. Okay, like this is a beautiful and a vast science, and every day there is something or the other that comes up in researches or some kind of studies. So this constant research going on in this field, and we're going to dive into that science today. Okay, and I'm sure a lot of you have actually gone through the chapters. Yeah, so before we start, guys, I wanted to get a small little I wanted to know you guys. Okay, so I just want to know your name, where you're from, or maybe like what you do. Yeah, so if you can write that in the chat box, that will be great for me to understand where you come from. Yeah, so if the chat box is open, you can write down your name and what do you do and where you come from. Yes, come on. का मतलब क्या है? Anatomy means how your body is made, and physiology is the study of how it functions. So I can say that, oh yes, Okay, so that acts as a filter. So yeah, epithelial tissue is also a filter. Now the skin, as I already said, is an example of the epithelial tissue, or the vertebrae that you also call that as vertebral column, and the thorax, the respiratory system looks like. Now here, to finish fast, huh? Okay, now this is a big challenge today with a lot of westernization. Yeah, the topic of this chapter is modern challenges of dietary patterns. Now, if I were to tell you, I mean, I don't have to tell you I'm not going to be telling you something new. You already know this. Junk food is a part of our diet, especially in younger generations, wherein children and teenagers are affected. Even working class people are affected because they need quick solutions. Yeah, they need quick solutions कि कहाँ से खाना मिलता है और वो भी tasty. They won't carry a tiffin, or maybe they cannot carry a tiffin for certain reasons. They go for outside food. That is where the problem begins, and that is why the quality of life and the lifespan itself has shortened now, because you're relying on something that is not nutritional in any form. No bit of nutrition is present in outside food. कुछ भी नहीं होता है. Empty calories. That's why we call professional help. When you are ready to practice on your own, you can do that. Okay? It is anti-carcinogenic. It prevents the growth of cancer cells. Okay? Moving ahead, dhania, which is coriander. Coriander is very good for liver. तो मैं आपको एक highlight बता रही हूँ सबका. ठीक है? I'm not going through each and everything because you'll read it obviously, and it's very self-explanatory, very easy to learn. I'm telling you one highlight of each herb. Okay? Excellent liver herb this is to cleanse your. I just told you now, some time back I told you liver also gets burdened. You're burdening your liver with a lot of things, like even if you change your oil also. See, it's a healthy practice to change your oil, but वो थोड़ा time लगता है liver को adapt होने के लिए. After all, liver is the organ which metabolizes fat, right? So that is why. So आप उसको थोड़ा healthy रखने के लिए, उसको कभी कोई problem ना आए liver को, coriander include करिए diet में, either in the form of leaves or in the form of seeds. Leaves are better. You can sprinkle on each and every food that you consume. ठीक है? आप चटनी ले सकते हो, आप अपने स्मूदी में कोरिएंडर डाल सकते हो, जूस में डाल सकते हो. Please do that. It's very good for eyes also. Vision improve करता है. Yeah, and of course it also gives you iron and prevents anemia. ठीक है? Apart from the heart friendly herb, reduces cholesterol, reduces triglycerides, and obviously improves your immunity and all that. Okay, gehu, rice and all that, of course. Second is pulses and beans. So all your kathol comes here. Moong, matki, rajma, chana, chauli, वाल whatever. Yeah, मूंग दाल, मतलब ये सब में दाल्स भी आ गई. साबुत मूंग तो आया ही, दाल भी आ गई. ठीक है? Then comes fruits and vegetables. You can say the third category is your vitamins and minerals group, or the fruits and vegetables आप एक ही में club कर लो. The third category. Okay, so all your fruits, all your vegetables, seasonal, local, सब exotic सब आ गया. Kiwi, dragon fruit सब आ गया इसमें. ठीक है? Fourth is the dairy group. The dairy group is for people who are vegetarians. The most important source of calcium and protein in their case, because they don't have non-veg, right? And if somebody is vegan, then they can avoid dairy group. Okay? So you also, I'll come to that. Okay. The fifth one is, see, I'm not going as per the content because content बहुत easy है. I'm giving you something more than that, more than what is covered in the content. Okay? So you can take notes. The fifth one is nuts and seeds. जो कभी नहीं होता है डाइट में, है ना? कौन खाता है अखरोट बादाम regularly? Tell me honestly. No one. Even if you eat regularly, after a few months you forget. खत्म हो गया तो फिर बाद में लाएंगे ही नहीं कभी. It's common, yeah, because we don't yet know how important they are. जब उनकी वैल्यू पता चलती है तब हम इंक्लूड करने लगते हैं उसको. पानी क्यों इंक्लूड करते हैं हम? बिकॉज पानी के बिना तो रह ही नहीं पाएंगे ना. So that's how it is. Okay, so know the importance of each. So chia seeds. So that is the reason why you should place a lot of importance on nutrition. Now here, you need to know few basics. Okay. Just stop sharing once. You need to know few basics when it comes to nutrition, right? First of all, you need to know what are the food groups. Okay. When you talk about dietetics and nutrition, or when you are planning to become or pursue dietetics or become a dietitian in the future, heal people through the science of food, you need to know what are the 5 food groups. We say 5 food groups. For a non-vegetarian, there are 6 food groups. Okay. So there is a cereal group, there is a pulse group. Cereal group में क्या आता है? All your anaj, all your grains. So cereals and millets सब आ गए, ragi, bajra, jawar, rajgira and all that, quinoa and all that. Okay, gehu, rice and all that, of course. Second is pulses and beans. So all your kathol comes here. Moong, matki, rajma, chana, chauli, वाल whatever, yeah, मूंग दाल, मतलब ये सब में दाल्स भी आ गई, साबुत मूंग तो आया ही, दाल भी आ गई, ठीक है. Then comes fruits and vegetables. You can say the third category is your vitamins and minerals group, or the fruits and vegetables आप एक ही में club कर लो, the third category. Okay, so all your fruits, all your vegetables, seasonal, local, सब exotic सब आ गया, kiwi, dragon fruit सब आ गया इसमें. Okay. Fourth is the dairy group. The dairy group is for people who are vegetarians. The most important source of calcium and protein in their case, because they don't have non-veg, right? And if somebody is vegan, then they can avoid dairy group. Basics in an Indian diet, specifically, I'm talking from an Indian perspective. Okay. Now, there are a lot of food habits. From as a nutritionist, budding nutritionist, yeah, you need to know which group is egg included. So मुझे non-vegetarian अपना meat group में last वाला, okay? हाँ. Now you need to know what are the types of food habits people have. You already know this. I'm just reiterating it. One is vegan. Okay, vegan is only plant sources, plant foods. Plant foods क्या? They do not even have honey. So when you deal with a person who is a vegan, never give him honey, okay? Because it is made from the bees, and the bees get killed also many a times. So they won't harm any animal, okay? Any living organism. Okay, so no honey, I mean, no dairy products and no animal sources in a vegan's diet. Vegetarian is where a person has dairy products also. Okay, so that's the difference between a vegan and a vegetarian. He or she will have dairy products, and he or she will also have honey. Okay, so they're not that strict in terms of food. There is a vegetarian which only consumes egg, but no other meat items. Okay, like fish, egg, and chicken and meat. Fish, chicken, and meat is avoided. Only eggs. Pescatarian hardly कोई होता है जो सिर्फ fish खाता है, is called pescatarian. Okay, but मैंने कभी नहीं देखा ऐसे किसी को. If they eat fish, they eat chicken also, usually. And then there is a hardcore non-vegetarian. Hardcore non-vegetarian will eat every meat item, probably maybe a few favorite foods. Maybe he may or may not have red meat, but still he's a non-vegetarian. Okay. And there are some special groups. There's one special group you will always you need to keep in mind when you plan a diet. Jain. Okay, Jain diets. Yeah. These are special menus. So you need to avoid certain foods. Okay, so they do not come under the normal food habits, but yes, they do come under the vegetarian category, but they do not even have onions, garlic, and sprouted pulses. Okay, so you need to keep that in mind. Okay, coming back, so this is clear. This was just something additional that I gave you. Okay. Now here, dietetics is nothing but the science of eating right and eating in well-balanced proportions, okay, and also giving importance to the correct thing, what is right for your body. Okay, so for example, your breakfast should be the heaviest meal of the day. Agreed? Yeah, agreed. Why? Because that is when your brain requires the most amount of glucose. It is just, you've just woken up from your sleep. The first meal of the day is your breakfast. Your brain lives on glucose, isn't it? Ultimately, all the food that you eat gets converted into glucose because brain, that is the only language the brain understands. Glucose. It's a fuel for your body. It's a fuel for your, even to move my hand, I need glucose. I need energy. Okay? So glucose is what you should be having, but the quality of glucose is very, very important. I'll come to that, okay, when we talk about macronutrients. Okay, so breakfast should be the heaviest meal. The most common mistake people do is making fruits and avoiding fruits and vegetables. Vegetables तो फिर भी ले लेंगे, but fruits तो hardly किसी का होता है दिन में एक बार या कभी कभार एक केला खाया या एप्पल खाया या कोई fruit अगर घर में आया तो make it a point that you have it every day in your home. Seasonal खाओ, that's the why, because आप खुद ही सोचो ना, आप बार बार नीचे झुकोगे ना, आपका पेट के ऊपर का जो फैट है ना वो वर्कआउट होता रहेगा बार बार, and it increases your acid secretion and to digest the food, so all the nutrients are correctly absorbed. Isn't it wonderful? Yeah, but still we don't do it, है ना? So make it a point that you sit down and eat. At least अगर every day नहीं कर रहे हो तो at least एक meal में तो करो दिन में. To heal, need to know is these two: simple and complex carbohydrates. You don't need to go into very details, but you need to know how are these healthy, because they contain something called as omega-3 fatty acids. Omega-3 fatty acids ke benefits you can see in this video. Apart from that, how would you get those omega-3? Omega-3 mein bhi 3 prakar ke hai: EPA, DHA and ALA. Alpha linoleic, icosapentaenoic and docosahexaenoic. Okay, so ये आपको मिलते हैं कहाँ से, वो सब दिया गया है, और एक कठोल को कंबाइन किया तो आप अपना प्रोटीन बढ़ा सकते हो. This is especially for vegetarians and vegans because they don't have milk and eggs. Okay, so example है idli. Idli क्यों idli है या डोसा है, whatever, that batter is a complete protein because उसमें उड़द दाल भी है, उसमें चावल भी है ना? एक ग्रुप से आ गए ना दोनों, सीरियल ग्रुप से चावल आया, दाल ग्रुप से उड़द दाल आ गई. Secondly, khichdi is an example of complete protein because it has rice also and dal also. Next is dal, copper is important. Iodine for your thyroid gland. Okay, iron is a trace mineral. Surprisingly, yes, iron deficiency is very common, but it's a trace mineral. But आपके diet में easily मिल भी
exactly what we think. I'm sure you know this time that you spend here is value for money, and you not only can use this commercially with whatever professions that you're engaged into, but I think you know even on a personal basis with your family members, I think this definitely is going to give you value. So we're just done with 50% of the classes, just 4 classes, another 4 classes to go, and now we are speeding up. Next sessions, next class we'll have another 6 chapters. And after that, 12 classes in one session. So gear up and try to finish off all your